Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for tuning on in to our Valley News Now desk this morning. Little cloudy out there, and if you're anything like me and you've been up for a few hours, you've just seen those temperatures drop. We are sitting at -5 right now here in Fargo. Pretty chilly out there, and unfortunately, I don't have great news there. It's only going to get worse. One more time, thank you for joining us here on our Valley News Now desk. My name is Alex Larson. So we're going to kick things off pretty quick here, talking about what is going on outside. I'm getting my screen ready to share with you here. And we are over on the Valley News Live website here. Again, -5 right now. It's partly cloudy and windy. Mostly cloudy and windy. That Arctic outbreak that we're seeing, it's bringing extreme cold today through Sunday. So it's not really ending anytime soon, but at least you're going to be prepared, right? Check this out. So -5 right now, right? Throughout the day, this is just going to progressively get worse. Even 7 o'clock, we're sitting at -19, 9 o'clock, -20 overnight. By the time, I get up in the morning, it's going to be about -20 out there, and it'll keep dropping as we continue out through tomorrow morning. So, meteorologist Lisa Green was telling us this morning, this is not the ice or snow that we're typically calling this first alert weather day for. This is the bitter cold and wind. It's going to be dangerous out there, and we're going to talk about that in just a little bit as well. But this Arctic blast, sub-zero temps, wind chills, -40 to -60. That is today through Sunday. Okay, frostbite can happen in a matter of minutes. Over here, we're going to click on the feels like, because this one really took me by surprise here. As of 25 minutes ago, it feels like outside -47 in Langdon. Isn't that insane? We've seen this before, right? We're going to see it again, but it's just that we haven't seen it so far this season, right? Right now in Fargo, -28, Detroit Lakes, -29, not getting much better. Bemidji, hot spot, -13. We're going to scroll on over here. Whoopsies. That wind chill. So you can see -23 today. That wind chill is going to be in Fargo at 7 a.m. tomorrow, -41. So like I was telling you, that Arctic blast, again, frostbite, that can happen in just a few minutes. This afternoon, that Arctic air is going to settle in. So that's when we're going to start seeing those temperatures drop here. I want to head on over to our road maps here, see what we got going on. So again, not much snow or ice that we're talking about. The residual stuff that's left out on the road. So light compacted snow on the roads on Highway 10. That's going to be from Detroit Lakes to Fargo. See if we can get a picture there. You can kind of see it there. A little bit of blowing snow with that wind out on that road as well. And even down south, like Breckenridge over to Elbow Lake, you can see we're seeing some partially covered frosty snow, ice out on those roads. Tinta all the way down to, man, look at that. Where are we even heading there? Pennock. Okay. Heading up north here. We're also seeing a completely covered road. This is north of Thief River Falls, Highway 32. I don't have a picture, but it does say there is ice out on the roadway. East Grand Forks, we're seeing some stuff too. 220, light snow on the roadway. So there's just so much going on. 75, compacted snow on the roadway. And these are cool too because you can click, we can get a better idea. Check out that blowing snow in East Grand Forks across the road there. Over in North Dakota, we've got that travel alert. So that's going to be Grand Forks County. Let's check. Griggs County, we've got Steele County, Nelson County, Walsh County, as well as Pembina County. We've got that blowing snow alert there. And you can see I-29 a little bit north of Hillsborough, south of Grand Forks. We're looking at partially covered snowy roads all the way north to the Canadian border. That's going to extend west. Looks like it's cleared up a little bit west of Devil's Lake, but east of Devil's Lake, between that and Grand Forks, we've got those partially covered roads. Up north, Langdon, Cavalier, Candu, you're seeing that as well. We're going to head on down south. I-94, says it's seasonably good. I've said it before, though. Does that mean set your cruise control at 80 miles per hour down the interstate? Absolutely not. Please use your winter driving skills to keep you and everybody else out on those roads as safe as possible. Looks like in Fargo, though, we do have some sort of issue here, some scattered ice out on the roads. That's on I-29 as well as I-94, heading west towards Castleton as well as north towards Hillsborough there. Zooming on in, too, let's see when this scattered snow lifts. About right outside of Tower City, it looks like that's going to ease up a little bit. Down south to Leonard, though, we've got some partially covered snowy roads. Just a lot to take in. So if you've got to drive this morning, remember even if we've got some green going on, right? The roads have been improving throughout the morning for sure. It's still that bitter cold. If you get stuck out in this, that's a recipe for disaster. Make sure you got your winter survival kit with you if you got to head out on the roads. If you break down, it's just not going to be a great day to do that by any means. I want to switch over to our news portion of this segment. The White House is sharing more details about the vice president's upcoming visit to Minnesota. So according to White House officials, Vance's visit today is going to include a meeting with ICE officers and is meant to highlight the administration's commitment to restoring law in Minneapolis. So what else he's doing today? The trip is also going to include a roundtable discussion with local leaders as well as members of the community. His visit comes as amid escalating political tensions over the presence of immigration and customs enforcement in the city. An ICE officer fatally shot Renee Good during a confrontation with officers almost 2 weeks ago. President Donald Trump and other administration officials have said that they believe this shooting was justified. And also happening in Minneapolis, Department of Homeland Security says a vehicle was surrounded by protesters, an ICE vehicle, as it stopped at a gas station yesterday. The car was part of a group of ICE vehicles making their way in South Minneapolis when they were confronted by a group of protesters. Minor clashes between ICE agents and protesters were reported as well. And a murder suspect has agreed to a plea bargain here in Fargo in Cass County after fatally stabbing a man outside a Fargo bar. That happened nearly 2 years ago. So Michael Diedrich is who we're talking about here. In Cass County Court yesterday, he accepted an Alford plea. So he's acknowledging prosecutors have enough evidence to convict him in the death of Ethan Larson, but he's not admitting guilt. The deadly stabbing happened in March of 2024 outside Southtown Poorhouse. We'll pull up some locator video for you here. According to court records, Diedrich and Larson were arguing inside the bar. They were asked to leave, and then investigators say soon after, Diedrich fatally stabbed Larson in the parking lot. So Diedrich, he's now facing 20 to 25 years in prison under this plea agreement. Sentencing is set for March 26. Also yesterday, in Cass County Court, a judge rules an attempted murder suspect incompetent to stand trial. We've got these details for you here. This is Lena de Oliveira. She was ordered to undergo mental health treatment. Police say she hit her boyfriend in the head with a hatchet last September. The victim had surgery, but he did survive. De Oliveira is now being sent to the North Dakota State Hospital for up to 6 months. Proceedings in this case are suspended until her treatment is complete. Over in Moorhead, the student who brought fentanyl to school grounds, while charges are now pending for that student after the drug bust last month. The 13-year-old's case is now being referred to Clay County Court for juvenile charges. According to investigators, another student reported the 13-year-old to officials for being in possession of 1,500 fentanyl pills. In response to the incident, the school has been conducting periodic searches using canine officers. And heading on over to the state lawmakers, legislators are again taking up the issue of free school meals with 2 new bills. One proposal mirrors a potential ballot initiative providing up to $65 million for free breakfast and school lunches starting this fall. Second proposal expands eligibility guidelines for families who qualify. Legislation would increase the household income requirement from 225% to 300%.
This bill represents a very simple yet a cost-effective, targeted, and budget-friendly approach to providing school meals to those who really need the help. It presents an alternative for the voting public when considering the proposed ballot measure.
If approved, this would be temporary for the 2026-2027 school year. And on the first day of the special session, North Dakota lawmakers talked about how hundreds of million dollars in federal funding are going to be divided among rural health care clinics as well as facilities. So Governor Kelly Armstrong there during the session, he delivered his State of the State address to the 69th Legislative Assembly. His focus, rural health care on federal funding from President Trump's Big Beautiful Bill. Lawmakers then talked about how to spend money allocated for the state's rural health transformation program. First step, though, authorizing $398 million for the program's first 2 years.
This program only works if North Dakota taxpayers have confidence in how we're spending money. It needs to be authorized and appropriated quickly. We need to be responsible stewards and track it closely. And it needs to have tremendous impact on the well-being of our citizens.
Throughout a 5-year period, North Dakota is projected to get at least $500 million. The special session is expected to last at least about 3 days there. Moving on with that bitter cold we've got here in the valley. As these chilling temperatures continue, you should know frostbite can set in just a matter of minutes. Valley News team Sydney Zatz shares recommendations from doctors to keep you from falling victim to the cold. And a quick reminder here, if you're a little squeamish, some of the images we're about to show, they're going to be somebody with a little bit of frostbite there. So we're going to give you a warning, okay?
It is pretty rare. I mean, it happens every once in a while, but it's not an every year type of situation, especially since we've had very mild winters the last couple of years.
First Alert Storm Team's meteorologist Summer Schnellbach says these dangerous temperatures and wind chills are rare.
With wind chills in the 50s to even 60 below zero, frostbite can occur in as little as 5 minutes. So about 5 to 10 minutes with the wind chills that we are going to be seeing.
Frostbite happens when skin tissue freezes. Mild frostbite can be reversed if you warm up quickly.
It can be more of like a stunning, I guess, where they can come back to normal once you get warmed up. But if it lasts too long, then that does actually, literally, it kills the cells.
Doctors at Sanford say to stay dry and remove wet layers as soon as possible.
For rewarming, either using your own body temperature, so literally putting your hands in your armpits or somewhere of the body that's warmer.
If you're going to use warm water to help, keep this in mind.
Moisture rewarming, warm water is better than hot water. The problem is that the sensation is decreased when you have frostbite, and so you can get then burned if you're using too hot of water because you can't tell that it's too hot. And that also can be kind of a shock to the system, so really warm water is what they recommend.
I asked area school districts, will extreme cold close schools? Moorhead tells me temperature is not a factor alone. The district bases closures on overall conditions like transportation and safety. West Fargo and Fargo follow similar protocols.
And physicians at Sanford say if your skin is turning black or you're in extreme pain, head on over to the emergency room. If you're seeing blistering, it's best to head on over to urgent care. Now, that's about all I got for you here on this, what are we at, Thursday? Isn't that crazy? Tomorrow's Friday. That's great news, except for those first alert weather days. If you got any plans, you may want to cancel those if you're anything like me, or maybe just alter them a little bit. Keep your time outside to a minimum. If you do got to go anywhere or you're just curious about what's going on outside, I know everybody is, download that VNN weather app so you can get those forecasts right at your fingertips. We've got 4 first alert weather days. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yes, 4 first alert weather days in a row. So lots to be aware of outside. Our first alert storm team works incredibly hard to keep you updated in the loop with everything that's going on to keep you and your family safe. Great tool to have as we continue on with this winter season, and particularly those first alert weather days. Again, that's all I got for you here on this Thursday. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and